It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. White in the building. I love your outfit.
Thank you.
You're black and white.
Thank you. I'm wearing my shoes that the ladies bought for me that Miriam chose. I know Miriam chose them. So.
You're lovely. I was thinking of a rap for you, but it's not coming through.
Obviously, was
white in the building. You got black and white wearing your earrings.
You're really nice.
Correct.
Oh, you try.
Well done. I'll sign you up.
So what I wanted to discuss today is Nigerian language. The Nigerian sign language that can mean anything. Because one day I was driving with my in-law, my son-in-law, and then someone approached me for something and I did. So he said, "Did you understand what you said?" I said, "Yeah, he did." He knows that I'm saying I don't have money today and another day. It just surprises him
How he understood.
the way we Nigerians
Communicate.
By the time we do like this, you know, everything has a sign. When you do like this, So I was listening to the radio today, and the guy said, "My friend," and you know, my friend may not be my friend.
Get away, my friend.
Look, my friend. That's my enemy I'm talking to. That I'm calling my friend. Look, my friend, take your time.
Yes.
You know, so that was. I said I must talk about it today.
Yeah, it's interesting when we think about it that way.
Yeah.
We say these things, and the foreigner will be wondering what was the word.
Especially those that greet as insults. I'm like, did you just greet each other? You just insulted each other, and in your mind, you communicated a warm greeting. But what I heard was insults from one person to the other.
Men like to do that a lot. Men do that a
see your
lot.
head like
And then they are smiling and the chef.
Oh, you both look at us and be saying.
I remember when I was in school, there was a white guy that was looking at me when I was eating hot food. He was shocked, wondering, and you eat this thing, it's fantastic. What did I do? It's great. But yeah, you're eating.
Obviously,
I was like, it means that it's fantastic. He was just shocked. And your face.
The one that shocked me once was when someone said, "Can you imagine? She saw me and she said, 'Good morning.'" I've heard that's an insult. How can she look at me and tell me good morning? Like it is not respectful. Oh, wow. I've heard that many times. Like, that's surprised me. So in Nigeria, you need to be very careful. Words don't mean what they say.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that was hilarious. I needed that laugh this morning. How you doing, Topsy?
Good. Grateful to God for life. Marketing. I am marketing. You know when they say marketing 24/7. Marketing on Instagram, marketing on Facebook, marketing. And then I did sponsored ad on Instagram, on Facebook. And I started getting lots of inquiries and they are begging me for money. You know, they will send a message like, "It's costing me money for you to reach out to me. Please, I need a job. Please, I need money." I say, "I'm advertising land." Okay, you feel I've blown. Mama blow, am I worried? The blow is sure. But like, I'm not talking one, I'm saying hundreds. I've had to block over, I checked, I've blocked over 200 numbers.
Wow.
And I only block numbers that are asking for money or sending nude pictures. It is a lot.
Get that.
Because, you know, I put my number is on social media to do sponsored ads. So they respond to the sponsored ad. So I know that we need to change our marketing model and so that I'm
Let
spending...
me jump to the published author.
I'm fine, thank you very
green,
much.
green for money.
Yeah. Wait, but it's our own money green. We'd like to use American money. But anyway,
Colorful
I'm
money.
fine. Yes, we have colorful money. Redesigned money.
The colored money.
Recolored money. Anyway, I'm fine. Yesterday I went out. It's been a while I did that. It was the 80th birthday of a dear friend of my husband's. And you know, it was nice to see him with his friends among family. And yeah, so it was a nice evening spent. I loved it. It was very nice, simple event. And I really always talk about how, you know, we do things. I know we have the Nigerian way of doing things, but I love it when it's small and intimate and you have just those who are close to you, the loved ones around. So yeah, I had fun.
Well, my own banter this morning is I'm just appealing because Momo is 98 years old. She's really sad because she's been under the weather for a few days. And I'm just saying this message to all the enemies who are making her ill because she believes that enemies that are attacking her. Like, Momo is 98 and she's complaining about the enemies that are attacking her. Momo, all your enemies have died. You're the left.
You have overcome already.
You're the only one left. They've all gone. And she just keeps believing that that the enemies are attacking her. I'm like, you'll be all right, Momo. She's a bit under the weather, but she's okay. She's had like 100 lies. One thing she asked as if she's about to log out, and then she just come right back. Yeah.
We are back.
She's back. So Momo is doing well. Then she's very ill for about if people have sent me messages concerning her, but she's definitely very, very okay. And
So we're sending ours to.
Amen.
Yes, yes.
Amen.
Love you.
Tell her that 100 we must.
She will
do it.
celebrate
Just 2 more
100,
years.
yeah.
And we must do a party.
Yeah.
Shutting down Lagos and Ekiti.
And she's still very.
very alert.
Yes.
Speaks
Yes.
well,
Wow.
sings, dances.
Talking
talks
to our
shit.
children.
Yeah.
There was
People
one
are
time
always
she
arguing.
came,
Yes.
so she saw me and she called. I was like, she
you
even
for real?
remembers that I am
If I
the
need
one.
to do a video with her, maybe
She's so
today or
amazing.
something.
Yeah.
Because she and Gabriel are always arguing. They're always fighting. Gabriel is always attacking his great-grandmother. Anyway, let's go on a break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, we're going to start with The Nation. Twist in Benani Fintiri governorship results crisis. Nigeria okays malaria vaccine for children below 3 years. Whoop, whoop. Battle in Immigration Service over planned extension of CG's tenure. National Stadium, the hard facts. $2.8 billion AKK pipeline, 43% ready, says federal government. And court orders suspended LP chair, others to file defense. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay. Let me start with the Nigeria okays malaria vaccine for children below 3 years. They said children under 3 years can now be immunized for malaria. NAFDAC yesterday okayed the provisional use of anti-malaria vaccine. And so it means that the vaccine is called the R21 vaccine by Serum Institute in India. A committee had been set up to, vet it, and they said it had met the safety and efficacy criteria, and so it has been, authorized
That's
to be
good.
used. It says 75%. It is 75% effective in protecting against malaria, and that makes Nigeria it makes us the second country in Africa to approve the use of a vaccine for malaria. Ghana is the first. Other countries are still going through their process of, vetting this, and it looks like it's good news. People, some other countries who are still using it are testing the trials. They said that it's shown like 80%, efficacy. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But this is an Indian, for what I get it, is from India. I remember one of the very few guests that when I joined the show, that we spoke to, and she happens to be Gbadebo Vivor's wife. She had come on the show. She was researching, she was part of a team researching this malaria vaccine, and I'm wondering if she's in some way involved or if we're doing something Nigeria specific.
So Dr. Gemma?
Yeah.
Really? On the show?
She's not Ijoma.
Oh, no. Okay.
I forgot her first name.
All right. Let me take the major headlines. So, continued drama about the Adamawa state elections, governorship elections. Senator Aisha Benani approached the High Court in Abuja to stop INEC from voiding her declaration as winner by the resident electoral commissioner, Hudu Yunusa Ari. If you recall, he had illegally announced results while collation was still ongoing. INEC has resumed collation of results in Abuja. Supporters of the governor of Amadou Fintiri of the PDP have continued to fire salvos to the Electoral Commission, and they are hoping that the announcement should be made today from Yola. Also, the returning officer, nobody knows where he is. I think it's Professor Mohammed. They're yet to know exactly what his location is, but they were all summoned to Abuja, if you recall. And also to support Governor Fintiri, governor of Oyo State, has also gone to Yola to also protest the wrong confirmation of Benani as governor-elect. Governor Shemigani stormed Yola to give solidarity with Fintiri, who was protesting Sunday's result, saying that the REC should be totally removed and displaced from INEC, and it doesn't deserve to be part of this democratic process. A lot of it happened. There's been lots of responses left, right, and center.
What surprised, because I read that story as well. What surprised me was that they said he went to announce that she won after only 10 local governments
had been
collated, you
Yeah.
know. 10 local government and they have 21. Can you imagine?
Yes.
You
That's
know,
why he was suspended immediately and they stopped collation and summoned all of them to Abuja. So I'm hoping that the collation is ongoing right now in Abuja and in Yola actually, and they're hoping that by today we'll get an announcement of the right winner of that election.
So I wanted to take the aviation story. The aviation workers shut down the nation's airports yesterday. They left thousands of people without any means. The airports, Murtala Mohammed.
Even international flights.
No, they said international flights were unhindered. So I think it was just local flights. Abuja, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, sorry, Port Harcourt, Kano, Kaduna. I want to say it like you, Kaduna, Benin, Uyo, Enugu, Owerri were all shut down. Thousands of workers, they blocked, especially in Lagos, they blocked, so you couldn't even get to the airport.
Yeah.
They said people who had traveled 6 a.m., who had gotten to the airport at 6, managed to fly. But after that, a lot of the passengers were complaining that what is their own now? With all the suffering and their suffering, they don't now align them to fly. So, of course, so there was this John Thompson who was visibly angry. He said, every time there is an issue and they decide to go on strike, it is passengers who have absolutely no business that suffer. And the aviation minister has said he has appealed to them to please sheathe their swords, but he will not tolerate any breakdown of law and order at the airport. They had given this warning last week. Isn't that the time that the government should have called them and said, come, don't strike? Because this is just very disruptive.
Okay.
So I want to take the story about the Energy Summit report. The Secretary to the Federal Government, Boss Mustafa, has directed that the Ministry of Petroleum Resources Permanent Secretary, Ambassador Gabriel Tanimu Abdabu, was to forward it's a comprehensive report that the Nigerian Petroleum Energy Summit 2023 report should be forwarded to the Presidential Transition Committee. And he also emphasized that everything regarding the energy sector, a lot of work has been done by this current administration, and they want to ensure that the next administration under the President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be able to start their work seamlessly. So this report should just go into that transition committee. Then he highlighted some of the things that the current administration has done within the energy sector, talking about how they have already done 43% of the AKK, that's Ajaokuta Kaduna Kano natural gas pipeline project, and they have already disbursed about $2.8 billion project, and if it's 43% completed, it will be supplying natural gas to a lot of the industries that need gas within that Ajaokuta Kaduna Kano benchmark area, and they are hoping that the new administration will build upon all the good work, several other good work that they have done within the energy sector.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on now to the Punch. Fuel subsidy. FG begins 40% pay rise for workers, April ending. Striking aviation workers reject government's plea, threatens shutdown. Ogun woman sells 18-month-old baby to repay her loan. Two parties challenge Makinde's election. Tribunal orders service on Sanwo-Olu. Marginal oil fields sale generated 203 billion naira, says Buhari. PDP governors demand Adamawa Rex trial. Binani sues INEC. External reserves slide further to $35 billion. Let me take the major headlines. So, the Director of Press and Public Relations of the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Mr. Lajide Oshundon, was speaking, saying that the federal government will be paying 40% pay rise by the end of April, and they'll be moving. They'll also be paying the arrears January, February, March, also with the April payments. According to him, last month, the Labour Minister of Labour himself, Chris Ngige, had said that the federal government has approved the pay rise for civil servants, and that payments will start from January. They said that all payments will be received by the end of this month. However, the vice president of the TUC, that's the teachers union, the trade union actually of trade union Congress, was saying yesterday specifically that we shouldn't make this look like a pay rise. According to him, he believes it's actually an increase in allowance and just the basic salary. So we shouldn't assume that this 40% is a full basic, is a complete salary increase, and is purely an allowance. However, but the PRO for the Nigerian Labour of the Ministry of Labour is insisting that this is actually a pay rise. So we'll wait for that, is because that's why they think it's because of the subsidy removal that is coming soon. That's why the federal government is increasing allowance, according to the TUC vice chair. But he is saying that the reason why the federal government did increase pay salary was because of the rise in inflation, cost of food, just to help to provide a buffer for the current economic situations for civil servants in the country.
Yeah, I was going to take the Ogun woman that sold her 18-month-old baby to repay her loan. She's a 33-year-old woman from the Ado-Odo Ota local government area of Ogun State. She left her house reportedly for Lagos with the baby. When she came back some days later, she came without the baby. The husband now asked her that, where is the baby? No answer. Where is the baby? So he now carried himself to the police that they should come and help him ask her where the baby is. After some interrogation, she now confessed that she sold the baby to a lady. Somebody had introduced her to the lady who would take the baby for 600,000 naira. That she had a bank loan, microfinance, and they had been disturbing her and telling her, so she thought the solution was to sell her baby.
18 months.
It's a very, very sad story. Very, very sad story.
I know.
Because now, even when they get the baby back, if they get the baby back, she will be in jail.
No, she has to be.
Oh.
So and then I hope it means that we find this group of people that buy babies. Because that's
it's
like,
such
who are
a
you? What are you
sad
buying
story.
a baby for?
Poor baby.
Because
that's who
child.
the baby has known as.
That's your mother that has betrayed you. That's the
Honestly.
end.
Honestly.
Anyway, yes, our president on Monday was saying that under his watch, the federal government has been able to make a total of 203 billion naira from the sale of petroleum prospecting licenses to 161 firms in its last marginal fields bid round. So as we know, marginal fields are smaller oil wells situated onshore or in shallow waters, and they're usually developed by local companies. And he says that, 10 months after the president has signed the Petroleum Industry Act, they've been able to have sold these licenses and made money. He said that his regime has also created a conducive environment for businesses to thrive. My administration took the issue of ease of doing business very serious, and we created a conducive environment for business. So I like this. He says, if you don't have to take my word for it, but many of the biggest businesses that came on stream in the lifetime of my administration are backing up this fact. And he goes ahead, and reveals all other things that he's done in that sector.
Yet within the same space, the external reserve continues to slide lower. They said in the past 2 weeks, the external reserve, Nigeria's external reserve, has fallen by $112 million. And now it is currently $35.42 billion. And that's figure obtained from the central bank. They said that it has continued to fall from the end of January, and they recorded the prices up until when the last monetary policy held in March. And they believe that the FX liquidity issue will remain over the short to medium term, as there's no, according to them, they say we do not see any positive signal that denotes any improvement in the FX in the FX supply relative to the pre-pandemic levels. So since 2020, there's been a major decline in foreign reserve, and there's increasing demand in our need for FX. So, and according to what they're saying, there's no seeming solution to the FX challenges Nigeria is currently facing.
The Daily Sun, aviation strike, passengers stranded, airlines suffer losses. INEC hammer falls on wreck over Adamawa Gubo results mess. Osinbajo warns against ethnic religious profiling in politics. Kidnapper buries 3-year-old boy alive after collecting ransom in Katsina. Election Petition Tribunal strikes out case against Kalu. Stop premeditated injustice against Igbo, says Archbishop Onoaga. Okay, let me start with our Vice President. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has warned Nigerians to shun ethnic, religious, and sectional profilings and to build a homeland where democracy and development can thrive. He was saying this during a lecture in Plateau State. He was there yesterday. The lecture was creating a homeland for all, nation building in a diverse democracy. And he stressed that the idea of weaponizing ethnicity and religion by certain individuals to achieve personal political gains is very, very wrong. And he also said that when ethnic or religious prejudices are weaponized for political purpose, we are confronted with lethal potential destructive situation. Elections by their own very nature tend to be divisive affairs. So he has warned that we must remove politics, remove ethnicity and religious bigotry from politics.
Yeah, I was going to take the kidnapper that buried a 3-year-old boy alive. His name is a 30-year-old man. Apparently, he went into the house and kidnapped the child when the father was asleep. And then he started calling, and then he dropped a letter, sorry. He dropped a letter and asked the father to pay 800,000. The father negotiated to 150,000. When he paid it, he didn't return the child. Anyway, the police now found the guy, and he now confessed that he had buried the boy alive. Very, very sad story.
His name is Abubakar Abdulaziz. He got paid 150,000 naira to collect as a ransom, and yet did not release the boy. Thankfully, the police has arrested him. They said the investigation is still ongoing, but it's such inhuman behavior. Like, who kidnaps a 3-year-old boy and then you now still kill him?
And you kill him. I mean, it's the
this kidnapper, was he known to the family?
inhuman way that he did it.
Yeah, they said they are investigating, but he was able to get into the house while they were sleeping and carried the baby. So
is he maybe someone that's known? So maybe even neighbors saw him, they wouldn't have thought anything.
They didn't say whether he was a neighbor's son or anything.
Any other story, son? Moving on.
Horrified to read that story.
Vanguard.
Actually.
Honestly.
INEC bars suspended BREC to announce results on Thursday. Crisis, NLC storms Labour Party National Secretariat. NAFDAC gives regulatory approval to R21 malaria vaccine. 2 aides killed, 3 policemen hospitalized as kidnappers abduct SAN in Rivers. Gridlock fight disruptions as aviation unions begin 2-day warning strike. How Atiku Obi Kwakanso helped Tinubu's victory. Government probes biotech firms disposing toxic waste into River Benue. Lagos Port Tribunal orders substituted service on Sanwo-Olu.
Yeah, so I have in Benue State, the governor of Benue State has set up an investigative panel after a video that had gone viral showing a company, a biotech company, they say, with a plant on the Makadi-Boko Road that it releases its waste through their drainage, and the waste goes straight into the river. And this is river that a lot of people access to drink, and also, of course, threats to aquatic life. And the governor had seen the video, set up the panel. He said he would have shut the company immediately, but it's good to investigate. So they'll investigate and find out, what the waste is actually and the threats to human life and aquatic life. And also because of that, there is another company to a factory that's located in the Zaki Biam area that would be investigated as well. So it's just good, that our leaders understand the importance of protecting our environment. And he also commended the people that raised the alarm when they saw it. So
okay, I was going to take the story of the River State son that was kidnapped. He had police in a car ahead of him, and then he had his driver and his security. They shot the police car tire, and that one now, because maybe they were speeding, overturned, and the policemen were injured. Then he now killed the driver and they killed the driver and the aide and kidnapped him. So they're looking for him.
The
police are looking for
Is there any other story that is
his son.
Very quick story.
Vanguard.
Oxfam is advising the new incoming administration to prioritize education, health and agriculture, saying that they should put 15% of the budget into health and put 10% of the budget into agriculture. They have other list of why they are making this suggestion, but they feel like the need would only be captured if we are putting 15% to health and 10% to agriculture.
I know time is over, but this is an important story. It's in the Vanguard, and we remember the story of the Ondo, the man that was mobbed and killed by the mob because he had, run into a group of people and had killed one person and injured the other. So they've arrested some suspects, and they're interviewing them on why they did what they did. One said, I came and I found that he was already beaten and he was lying in a pool of his blood. But because I was moved by the sight of the accident, I took a stone and I hit him. And then he held onto my leg. He said, this person said he did not realize it was his friend's younger brother that he threw a stone at. He said this victim held onto his leg, and because he didn't want to be dragged alongside the body, he choked. But I just want to say, you don't know. This person could be your family member. He hit his friend's younger brother. Anyway, there are so many of them in custody now, and the police say they're going to charge them for murder and also arson because they burnt the car. You just never know.
Very sad.
That's all we
full
can
of
take
sad stories.
on front page review. And come back, move on to hot topic of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So there was a report we saw in Guardian saying that 40% of failed transactions unresolved as e-payments hit 49.4 trillion naira. And this is according to Guardian, and they were saying that NIBSS has been silent. They've been silent about the unresolved transactions, and various industry sources have said that since January, when we had the cash crunch, 60%, only about 60% of cash transactions have been resolved, leaving 40% yet to be resolved. The latest data released by the NIBSS showed that e-payment were up by 23% within a month, attributed to surge in the total value of e-payment transactions last month. Notwithstanding the rise in e-payment, there's still several unresolved failed e-payment transactions that characterize this first quarter. Many Nigerians have experienced transactions where they make payment and the recipient doesn't receive the money, and yet we don't have a customer service who we can call to help resolve the issues. That's what Nigerians are clamoring for. That there has to be some way, some kind of a global customer service where everybody would have access to, because sometimes some banks, customer service are more receptive than others. Some are able to access customer service, some are able to get it resolved. Most others aren't. Have you experienced this? E-transactions where you try to pay a client, or he or she doesn't receive the payment. That's our conversation this morning. You can call us on 08127053687, 09139076948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweets. At some point, we have to bring in the experts to come and tell us what's going on. But first, we'd like to hear Nigerians first to see if you've experienced this at all in your business or in your personal transactions. Call us on the numbers on your screen. I'd like to hear your thoughts. YK, let me start with you because you own a business.
I lament. I lament every time because, when I read this, I checked, first and foremost, over the weekend, they don't even work. So, and weekend for like my kind of business is the weekend that you will have more transactions. Now you will not get any alert till Monday, and then you will now be calculating. Like one that I just calculated, the money was supposed to be 78,000. What I got was 39,000. I'm telling you,
gap.
it's a huge gap, and I'm not joking. And it is like this all the time. Then you will be calling them. The account officer will be saying, I don't know. Let me check. Apparently, it's supposed to be from InterSwitch, who are not remitting the money. I'm telling you, about 3-4 years ago, it didn't just start now, but because of the cash, the low cash, cash crunch, the low
The cash strangulation.
the cash strangulation.
Yes.
You are not more dependent on this. So now you are losing big time.
Yeah.
Businesses are losing big time. From January to date, what we have lost is I cannot, because you will be calling them. They will not. Millions. Okay, I will give you a very small example. I sent 20,000 to someone to buy something for me. Till today, as I'm talking to you, he got the money, he took it to the person, the money was debited, those ones said they didn't see it. Till today, as I'm talking to you, my 20,000 gone. Just gone. I had to now look for another money to buy the thing again. And I'm like,
yeah,
this is not fair. Yeah. It's not fair to people.
There was a day I spent an hour, I think it was an hour 10 minutes in a gas station because I wanted to buy fuel.
Oh, they are waiting to confirm.
Waiting to confirm. So I was just there. The transaction didn't come in. I was just there. All of us are now packed, different cars, not just packed waiting. Now, this wasn't like one of those stations I use often in the area that know me. It was somewhere far away. So I had to wait
until they got the alert. And so from one of the report mentioned that 70% of people that go to the banks are going to complain about failed transactions.
Yes, it's usually e-transactions, yes.
That's 70% of people that are visiting the bank are complaining, and some people just don't have the time to go to the bank and complain. So you now have a gap. For me, we batch payments Mondays and Thursdays, and there was a payment we did last week that 3 days after, the payment did not reflect. My client had to, the vendor had to start showing me his statement of accounts to show me that other monies have come in. Your own money did not come in. Me too, I now showed my own statement of accounts that the money I sent to you has gone out. I called the account officer, said the money has gone. So where did and it's a huge amount of money. Where did the money stay? The money is value. So if a system is holding millions of naira for 3 days, what happened to my money in those 3 days between when it left my account and landed in the other customers, in my vendor's account? It's not a conversation about experts. It's a conversation with the regulators. The system has regulators. We have regulators who ensure that we don't get cheated. Right now, Nigerians are getting cheated by the banking system. Yeah. You will hold my money for 3 months. Money that should be generating interest that I can use for business. You hold it for 3 months and say, it is lost in the where. Then they will not suddenly refund the money that, we've resolved the issue. But in those 3 months, who is paying me for the fact that I didn't have access to my money? Somebody is the regulators that we need to hold accountable. What are the regulators doing to ensure that we don't get taken advantage of?
Talking about regulators, because I do have it here from this Guardian's report, that according to CBN, there is actually a circular that was published back June 1st, 2020, that says that many of the unresolved and yet to be transferred transactions have breached CBN rules. And it was signed by the CBN director. I'm trying to get it. It says CBN revises the timeline for dispensing errors, refund complaints. Noted that in its determination of further enhancement, I'm looking for the exact log to know which was breached. Because according to this, the fact that there is actually the circular protecting Nigerians from delayed transactions, e-transactions from the CBN. So we can actually take them to court.
Yeah, but as you said, many of us are so busy, and especially because of this cash crunch. Remember, there's just this long queue at the banks, and they would not even let you have access into the banks that period. For me, my own personal, I've had issues. My own was almost 3 months. I couldn't use any of my online applications, and thankfully, for most of it, these were people that knew me and understood, oh, but there's this particular person. Even though this person was in the wrong as far as I am concerned, I had paid this person 80% of the total amount for a particular job that the person was supposed to do for me. And this person took forever, to get to do the job. No problem. But then the person eventually did it. And the balance that was left, I tried to send this money for days. I would stay up at night, so I could send the money to this person. The person now sent me a stinker. I feel so offended. Anytime I remember that message, I'm so offended. Like, this one that you said that you have been trying to send the money, is it only my own that is not coming? Because I'm sure you do other transactions. Why would it be just specifically mine? I was so offended because I know how much time I was putting, staying awake to make sure that this person got the money. The person didn't get it. Eventually, I was able to make the transfer, but called the person out for bad behavior. You took my money for a long time, no questions asked, but a few days and you're, But the thing is, that's the thing when these transactions don't go. It's not only about the money, it's relationships, Absolutely. It's businesses that we're, destroying. Okay. And as you say, in Nigeria, we just move on. And when you say we should sue them, where are we going to start that process of suing them? The money to sue them,
the money to sue them is with them.
Just so much. I just wish there was just a place we could go. Yeah. And just drop our complaints and be sure that our complaints will be handled. Yes.
So what I just want to have it rectified. Let me go on a break. When we come back, I found the circular I was looking for. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing failed transactions, and I was going to look for the circular from CBN dated June 8th, 2020. And according to them, when customers use their cards on their own ATMs, it shall be instantly reversed. Where instant reversal fails due to technical glitches in the system, the timeline for manual reversal shall not exceed 24 hours. That's if you use your ATM within your own bank. Now, ATM transactions outside your own bank, so where customers use their cards on other banks' ATM, the reversal shall not exceed 48 hours. Resolution dispute for POS, web transactions shall not pass 2 weeks. So, YK, the issues you have for POSs should not exceed 2 weeks when you have those kind of transactions hanging. Now, so there's one of that's circular 2020. So we are protected by CBN. However, the issue now is the infrastructure. We have the infrastructure to handle the fact that more Nigerians now are doing online transactions because of the cash crunch we experienced the past few months. It's just now that gradually cash. I was telling somebody over the weekend when I was in house fellowship. I said, "Sir, I have not seen 100,000 naira like with my eyes. I have not seen since January." He was shocked. He said, "I said I have not seen 100,000." He actually he said, "No, I'll bring your money." And yesterday he called me. He brought me the money. I said I was so happy because I hadn't seen 100,000 naira because we didn't have cash. But now we are now looking for going around. Gradually, cash is coming back. But the problem is not that it's a CBN protected.
It's not that it's only old money that we are seeing.
Yes, now. But the point is that the issue is the technical. No, do we have the technical capacity to handle this influx? Because that's what the problem is. It's hanging.
You know, we've had many
experts
rumors of the Jackpot syndrome affecting banks, and most of the IT departments
Nobody has helped us to come out
largely depleted because most of them have left. They are getting better pay, abroad. And even though we haven't had someone to tell us if it is true, it just comes across as it just may be true because they just seem to be completely clueless concerning our online transactions. I will never forget, a friend of mine said she had gone to the bank to complain after being on the queue for hours, and then they said they had rectified it. She went back home 2 days later, the same problem, she went back. And then they say, you again? She says, and you are proud of yourself. You think I just like to come to the bank because I want to see your face? I'm back again because it did not work. You know, and that calling the customer care, you would get that music, they will put you on hold and put you on hold and put you on hold. And for me, it's just saying that you're completely clueless on how to help me. And even though we come to the bank and stand on the queue, you're hoping that we get tired and we leave. So
Which is
we
what
just
happens.
need to, we just need someone, we need someone to, you know, give us. We don't want to go to the bank. We don't want to go to court. We don't have the money. We don't have the time. We don't have the energy. We just want our money. We just want to be able to do our transactions.
What would like
quietly.
CBN can actually create
We have
some
a
kind of
complete
temporary customer service that receives complaints across all banks. Don't you think?
That will, if that can be a short-term solution, having CBN intervene, because the central bank is, we need to. The central bank has a responsibility to increase the trust of people in the system. I would want to hold more cash at hand right now, and many Nigerians are looking for how to hold more of their cash at hand, because we realized there was a weekend that a popular orange bank was down, and it was even in church they had to announce that well, know that a popular platform was down, and it is back to back. Obviously, there's a problem. It's in the past 6 months, it's become even more aggressive. Like, you cannot access your money, you cannot open the app. The app isn't working. People are saying that wake up in the morning around 3 a.m. to do transaction. So we are going to be waking up in the morning to do transaction, and that is okay. And the CBN is not stepping in. People are losing trust in the banking system, and your job is to ensure that people bank with the system. I mean, bank their money in that system. So the CBN puts in a customer service temporarily for now to sort of shore up people's trust. We have a Consumer Protection Council in Nigeria whose job is to protect consumers from being abused by the system. So the Consumer Protection Council will say they did not report to us.
Yes.
They did not report to us. But you cannot say you don't know. Twitter is overwhelmed.
Let me take this call from Joke. I'll come to you, YK. Good morning, Joke. You're live. Thanks for calling. Oh, I'm so sorry we lost that call.
I was going to say, this problem is not today started. It didn't start with the cash strangulation. It started, it has been, if not for Nima's husband, I've lost money to that bank that does like this.
Nima's husband's bank.
Nima's husband's bank. In fact, the first time was so much money, then this last one, no, not the last one, but the second to the last one, I called him. He's the one that helped me get that money. If not, that money too would have gone, because they will be telling you they don't know where the money is. Excuse me, this is the POS, we used it. And they will say, send it. And they are so, then one of the first generation banks, those ones are so nonchalant. Nonchalant, we don't know. You don't know what? Excuse me?
They don't know.
It's your business to know.
Right.
So we are all suffering. So when Eme, let me just, so anything you like, feel it. When Eme started this thing, he must have known that the system was not working. Then you start this thing. So what has happened is,
through all of us,
the thing that has been doing us since how many years ago,
now everybody
just became
worse.
A pandemic.
Yes, it is.
Let me take this call from Joke. Joke is back. Good morning, Joke. Are you there?
Hello, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Please, concerning the matter you are discussing, they should help us. I bought prepaid credit since February. I've not seen, I bought 5,000 naira prepaid credit. They deducted my money twice. I did another one. Almost 20,000 naira. I've been to the bank 4 times. They have not returned my money. Government should help us.
Nepanko.
So this help us.
Thank you. We are suffering
I'm an old woman. I'm 79. I'm 69.
Oh.
She doesn't need this.
Twice. 4 times.
So this
They should help
our.
us now.
Thank you very much, Ma, for calling.
I was just going to say, Toko was saying that we should set up a customer service.
Yes, temporarily.
It's not this customer service. The infrastructure to solve our issue is the problem. So you can don't put a customer service that would smile and smile, but after a few days you get upset with the customer service that cannot deliver.
Hypothetically speaking, let's just assume that all our techie guys have gone.
Okay.
can you bring a few back? I mean, if you cut out good, so maybe from India, just bring some guys back from, or from our Nigerians, our guys, bring them back for the 2 months, just for 2 months to come and help us restructure this infrastructure. Because the problem is that many people will tell you many banks will tell you that it's not in their hands. It's the NIBS, that's the Nigerian Interbank systems that has fallen. That they don't hold the infrastructure. Their own is just to is based on what the system sends to them that reflects. So it's really not in the banks. It's really there's another infrastructure that needs to be
switch.
There's that switch that needs to be enhanced to be able to take on these transactions.
So we hear that part, and I understand. Just a few weeks ago, Nima was talking about how her husband was having to do a lot more work. People in the banking system are overworked. Jobs that 5 people were doing, you have 1 person doing it or 2 people doing it. My former account officer, Jakpa, the current one, overworked more than before because they haven't replaced the previous one. He was already there. So we have a system where we are having a lot of brain drain within. It's not just medical doctors. We're having brain drain in our tech sector, and we're seeing the effects. Unlike the ones where the doctors were, minister was saying that doctors can go, we have enough doctors. Here, we are seeing the effect of not having enough technical people on ground. And we are not seeing a corresponding action from the government, from the regulatory agencies, saying that we are on top of it, we know there's a problem. Not even a press release to say there are lots of failed transactions we are hearing and we're working on it. Not even somebody, as in the PRO if there's a slander against CBN or slander against NIBSS, they will quickly come out. It is important to be abreast and on top of the game, not wait until everything crumbles down or people start protesting to the banks before you will resolve the issue. Must we go on strike? So we can understand. Are they waiting for Nigerians to go on strike on top banking transaction before they will not answer us?
You see, sometimes Nigerians are not difficult to please. See, all we just need is that somebody has heard our problem and it's being worked on. And you know that, so for example, YK has a transaction that is hanging. You call a number and they call you back that, man, we're on it, we're waiting for this. And next day, somebody else calls you again to tell you, we're still on it. You'll be comforted that somebody's working on the issue.
Exactly.
All we need is attention that this matter is being worked on. Even though you don't have the technical know-how, I don't want to believe personally that in a whole country as Nigeria, we don't have the technical know-how. It's because some people have traveled that I don't want to believe that. I don't want to join that
Me
narrative.
too, I don't want to believe that.
This is a sovereign nation.
I refuse
Yes,
to believe
we have people who can actually ensure that the infrastructure works for the numbers of people that we're dealing with. So, but I'm only hoping that it's got to be something you can do to ensure that every Nigerian is reassured. Just like you said, we don't want to lose the trust in the banking system. I'm told
there's so many things that are okay.
Good morning, Yakub. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think this is total inconstitutional. Total. Because I don't think when the former CBN government, in person of Sanusi is here, I don't think this kind of nonsense will happen. See, I don't know, maybe you people have noticed something. Before the email as Sister Yeni called him, before the email started this kind of rubbish, he told us that they wanted to print out money, but you know they covered that money. After they covered the money, now that the money is not out, you know that a lot of old money is in circulation than the new one. You cannot even see the new notes. They are printing the old things now. Now, a lot of us, if also this program this morning, I'm very sure 8 of us will have the same problem that we are discussing this morning. Because I went to filling station several times using my ATM card to buy food. At the end of the day, my money was deducted, and then they said to send the person of the Fed for it because they said they don't get the money, and then it declined. So where do I go? Who am I going to complain to?
Right.
Nobody.
Thank you very much, Yakub. We're going to go on a break. When we come back, we'll take a few comments on social media. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
I have money for the past 2 salaries now. I've not been able to get that money because I don't have an ATM with that card, with that account. And then the online is not working. I just cannot access the online. I've been going back with my account officer. Please, what's going on? What can I do? They've not resolved it till today. I still called her this morning, interestingly. I didn't even know we would have this so big. I called her this morning. I said, how far? She said, okay, please come to the bank. Let us see what we can do. I have 2 months salary there.
To the bank.
I have 2 months salary there. I can't
access it.
I can't access it.
They're saving
with
it for you.
transaction.
They're helping you save it, but they will charge you
don't ask
interest
them.
on this saving. eh?
You don't ask them
So
to save it.
these big banks seem to be having a field day because they have so many customers. I have a few friends who have they are banking with the smaller bank, not so big banks. And they're okay. They're having a great time because their onlines are working. They've never had transaction issues, glitches. They need money. Their account officers come to them. I'm thinking of opening a bank account, one of those smaller banks.
You see, the one I opened is not even a bank. It's the online bank.
Oh,
they have them. There's one from China. There's this one. I don't even know where
Okay,
it's
be careful
from.
about those ones, though. Are they regulated under?
No, what you do, they are regulated. But what you do is
help.
you get your money there, then you move it to the bigger banks. That one, when you move it yourself to the established banks, you will now be seeing that it entered. So if it leaves that place and goes to you will go to your bank and say, I just did this transaction. No. Where's my money? Where's my money? You know? So you just...
Oh my God, why
But those ones, their POS will work because they are looking for customers. But I don't know when the customers now come. Because after seeing that they're advertising on TV, I say,
they are blue.
Now everybody
wants customers. But I know that I have
don't jam and side.
I have one of those banks that is not so everybody is there. And since this thing started, this crunch started, not one issue I've had with that bank. Maybe maybe small issue, and they'll call you, they will resolve it.
So there's a part of lack of infrastructure to handle the volume of customers that you are attending to. And who is going to protect us, the customers? Regulatory, we will still put regulatory agencies.
So I want to say with banks, the banks have gotten away with so many atrocities against customers for a very long time. It's not today that we have complained. It's just that this one is, on our necks. We have complained about charges that we don't even understand where those charges are coming from. We have screamed, we have shouted, we have called them out on social media, but we haven't gotten anything, tangible. We get all the circulars. We're very good at writing words. It's so easy, but the implementation is the problem. And I just feel like, the regulatory bodies do not really care about us. It's about making the banking system thrive however, and at our own, at our own risk and at our own loss. And it's just unfair. I just wish that we could take these things seriously. Just reduce the issues that Nigerians have to complain about.
Let me take this call. Okay, don't talk. Let me take Sheo from Ikeja. Nigerians can call in now. Let me take the numbers again. 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please let's hear your thoughts. Sheo from Ikeja, you're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Morayo, the ladies, and you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
I need to let us know that, we have a lot of tech guys who can do this job. We have not all jackpot. I'm a 90%. But the system, the banking system is not doing what they're supposed to do. Yes, we have the infrastructure. The personnel are not well paid. And that's the truth. A friend of mine just traveled to the UK, who is one top IT guy in one of these big banks. And he just left. Now, we are not giving us, because, Nigeria is not good. No. It is all because, the system, the banking system is not giving us what they are supposed to give us. Okay, for instance, me, I don't want to work in the bank. I don't want to work in the IT section of the bank. Why? Because, what I'm making is actually much more than what the bank is going to give. We have the infrastructure. We have everything. All what I know is that, there is a lot of fraud going on in the bank, and that is it. We have the technology, we have the infrastructure, and that is it. And government should look into the banking operation. I will say it again. There's a lot of fraud going on in the bank. How can they owe the money for 3 months? So with the interest and all of that. So government should look into the banking operation. Nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Everyone.
Thank you very much. Yes.
See, I love what you have said. There is fraud in the banking system.
That's the truth.
Whether we like it or not. And these fintechs, or this major fintech that I'm complaining about, that they say it's not their problem, fault, it's clinical. What? You see, that is why Eme has not done his job well.
If
there's anything you like,
Put at the end. Suffix.
His name has become suffix. So
Just because Nigerians don't know where you're talking
They
about.
know. There's no Nigerian.
I does not know what Eme stands for because
the
we have
most-
all been Emed.
notorious person in Nigeria.
But he has
today.
rectified the issue.
No, he hasn't.
He has rectified. I think he has told you that he has told people.
No, he hasn't.
Nigeria with
We
cash.
cannot give him the honor of the resolution of that challenge.
Nigerians
He
begged
impoverished,
and-
yes. He strangled Nigerians, killed businesses. Egg people, poultry farmers have not yet recovered from what he cost. And he did not resolve the issue. It was imposed on him because some people went to the Supreme Court to fight for Nigeria. And I think that might be the end of it. You know, in America, if you have accidents, they say if you've had accidents or you used one drug and it had a problem with your body, I'm a lawyer, I can fight for you. We need to start having class actions against the banks because it is when people gather. By the time everybody is bringing receipts, we have 1,000, 15,000. Some lawyers need to find a way to cash out on this and restore the system within the bank, because if they are able to get the bank to pay compensation to millions of customers, all of them will invest the necessary money because they are declaring profit. Are you not? I really think they are declaring profit.
Yeah, so
how are you declaring profit when we are groaning and complaining? How?
I said there's that one. If I say
Every time I see that.
that one,
It should be profitable. I'm not against.
that one, every day I get POS. POS, what they call, what they every single day.
We have a friend that works there, that comes here. Don't say that.
Which one?
We have a friend.
But if we are going through
that used to
issues, we
work
are going
there.
through issues.
Let us take this call from Delta State. Good morning, sir.
As the YK is just finishing.
You're live.
All right, if I remember correctly, I think we have an organization called the Consumer Protection Agency in
We
Nigeria.
do. Yes.
But I don't know what that agency is really meant for. We're talking about transactions that have been holding for 3 months, 4 months. But I know a lot of people that have done transactions. They've been going to the bank several times. They're tired. They're forgetting about the money. And those kind of money, what will happen to it? It just be that the money is just gone like that. Because they've been going and they've been complaining, filling forms, standing at the bank. Nobody is doing anything about it. What is the job of Consumer Protection Agency in Nigeria? This is terrible.
Well, the consumer protection, I'm not speaking for them, but they have quite a bit also. We've seen them a few times, lock up shops for one thing or the other. There are other consumer issues aside from phone that they're dealing with. But either way, we need somebody to protect Nigerians when it comes to this issue of banking and also phone, telecommunications.
That's
another one. But let's not do telecoms today. We'll give them another day. Let's focus on banking. Let's take a few comments on social media.
POS stamp duty every single day. 50 naira, 100 naira, every single day they send me POS stamp duty. Whether I see a letter or I don't see a letter, I see POS stamp duty. Come on.
Okay, I think you're the number one victim.
No, YK has always lamented about it, and I'm
Let's
sure
take a few
it's
comments on
worse now.
social media because we have to. Let's see, because I really need to hear a few other comments on this.
saying.
Yes,
because we need to bring in an expert from the banking sector to help us. Because we've tried to get a few, but many of us are always very careful. You know, nobody wants to say something outside what CBN has allowed them to say. So we need
banks
someone from
need to-
CBN. CBN also, they are also being careful.
Consumer
So
protection
until
will
we
stop.
speak to Emefiele directly, or whoever else for that on top to tell us exactly what is going on, then we can actually get a headway on this matter.
Yes.
Let's see if you comments on social media. And then we wrap
This
up.
one is not social media. This is someone sent me a WhatsApp message. Only I paid to buy
I can't
power
refuse Yoruba
to
in this
reload
matter.
my prepaid last week Thursday, 10K. Up till now, I'm still waiting for the token, so for the token number to reload. I had to go get POS to pay another money, and I got the token. My 10K is still hanging.
Director
somebody-
Lekki
their
says-
customer.
Somebody here saying that most of these transfers, YK, most of these transfers challenges are from third party, not necessarily the banks.
The fintech.
The telecoms network is a factor. If network is down, transfers will fail. So also we I guess we can infuse the banks.
Yeah,
with
the
telecoms.
telecom.
So
Telecom
telcos.
is also a problem. So the telcos might be the ones not ensuring that the communication is passed on, that the money has
Like
gone.
just pushing the
No,
blame.
but let
And because the name on my phone, it did not say that app. It did not call the telco's name. It called the name of the bank. So
Bank,
you
so
will
don't
sort
push
it out
blame.
with your telco.
Yeah. Tonte says 80% of unsuccessful POS transactions also go unresolved as there is practically no one to talk to. The operators are helpless when customers come threatening. Our banking system needs to be looked into.
Director Lekki says, please, ladies of your view, dwell on this. Press their necks. You definitely will be saving so many from frustration, embarrassment, and embarrassment. I'll stop there.
Okay. Any other one before we wrap up?
Anytime I open my Dash Bank app, this is from Korean Michael from Texas, it opens one time and transactions always successful. Banks, is advertising for his bank. I can't.
Akimbo Wale Olusoji says, tell the mama having issues, I guess that's the lady that called us, tell mama having issue with electricity subscription to visit Last Copa at 2 Soji Adekpeba Street, Ikeja. They are efficient. When I had some issue with Juma Electricity, they helped me get my money.
Fiona says the charges are on another level.
Let me take this call.
Oladidi says, sorry, let me just quickly say, this bank, that bank, Orange Bank, Nima's husband's bank. Can you just name the bank? Let us know.
I know.
The Kutupa Bank.
Toby, are you there? You're live.
Hello.
You're live. Go ahead, please. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. How's it doing?
Good morning.
Yeah, me, I want to call out First Bank.
Please don't mention their name. We don't want to holler.
I'm sorry. No. I need to call them out. They haven't done too much. I'm a seller. I sell eggs. We know the state of the economy.
Yes.
Customers will make a transaction to me. They will send me their proof. I will wait day 1, day 2, day 3. I'm calling customers. It's embarrassing. Yeah. I'm calling them and they're telling me, Father, we have sent the state. I go to my bank. My bank is telling me nothing like this has entered. You know, this is the 3rd time. This last one that happened is over 2 weeks now. Because the person in question, apparently she even works with First Bank. I think she's retired from First Bank presently. She lives near me. She's an elderly woman. Should I be following Mama about over the money? And Mama said she has sent it. I had to literally just beg Mama, please send it again. Don't worry. If they send the money to me, I'll send it back to you. And that's how Mama managed to send it. As we are speaking, the money hasn't come to me. Mama said nothing was reversed. It's a bit too much. Come on. Nigeria, please help us.
Yeah.
I know.
It's really terrible.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, AB, for your sharing your own thoughts. There's a lady.
Her experience is gone.
Experience is really, really painful. Something similar. I just got it from my Agbalumo seller. She just sent me a message, Madam. I call her Madam Mary. She said that my sister, please tell them. She mentioned the name of the bank, but I won't mention it's a red bank. It's owing me 10,000. 10,000 naira that she transferred in the market. So she said the money has not been released. She had transferred money to obviously buy fruits in the market, and the money has left her account. The client has not received the money.
I don't know if we took this.
I tell me, and I said it was 3 days, and it was millions of naira hanging, and even. My husband also had the challenge where they wanted to pick up some equipment and he made the transfer. It was just like, okay, you can go. And that was the first time he's interacting with the person. And he did the transfer right there. He went 2 days, the money did not land. The man was not calling like I've released goods. Yes, like I've released goods that you sent proof of payment, but I've not received the money. You know, so there's a lot of Mariam's experience where her trust, her integrity is being questioned based on the bank's failure. Yeah. You know, and transactions are being delayed. Human beings businesses are failing because if I can't make payments, I cannot get my goods. My supply is delayed. Yeah. The ripple effect is huge.
Some businesses are based on trust.
Yeah, so if the banks are saying it's not their fault, it's the fintechs, they too should start calling out the fintechs. And because we don't deal with the fintechs, we deal with the banks. I don't have any my problem is not telephone network, or my own problem is you, that I put my money inside your bank
and I cannot collect the money.
It and it didn't go.
So the bank should start calling out
that lady that just called. Her business, if she doesn't see the money, she cannot go and buy egg again now because she has not seen the money.
So these fintechs now, we don't have all their names, but there are quite a few of them. So you're saying that maybe the bank should start coming and say, listen, we are having issues because XYZ fintech has not been able to ensure that our monies are transferred.
Even if you don't want to, just make us feel like we are heard.
No, beyond make us feel we have gotten past that. People's businesses are on the line. As you said, our integrity. We just need you to solve it. Forget, we have passed customer service level. That's what you should have done months ago.
Thank you, Miriam.
What we just want you to tell us how to solve this. And I really don't want to be dealing with you calling fintech out. Sort it out with them. Don't come and be telling me it's fintech. So I should now carry my placard and go to fintech too. And be fighting your cause. Please just deal with it.
My transaction is not with fintech. I don't know any fintech. True. I don't work there. I don't know them. You that you are collecting my money, you better know who you are going to attack. No. You see, you have said it.
We need to change this.
We don't want customer service.
No, let's not change it
because we don't want somebody to get to the point where she says something she would regret.
Today's discussion is indeed pertinent. Just recently, I lost 10,500 and 10,200, total 20,700 respectively to failed transactions. I lodged complaints, but to no avail. However, I won't give up on my hard-earned money. Thanks for bringing this to the fore.
That person, I don't know who this person is, but this my Agbalumo seller, Madam Mary, how much money does she have?
Exactly.
10,000 is still hanging. She didn't tell me how long, but I could only imagine. 10,000 is still hanging.
You are saying even the person has money. When I was paying for my goods, I sent 18K. When I sent that 18K, it was less than 4K left in the account. So when the lady was saying, just do again, I will refund if I see that, I said, I don't have the money to do again. So the money must land before I can get my goods.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll see if we can wrap this up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So today we're after the banks, the NIBSS, that's the internal banking systems, and also fintech, anything that has to do with bank, where you pay money or you send money via e-payment and it doesn't get to the recipient. That's our conversation today. And Nigerians have been calling in. We'd like to hear more Nigerians' thoughts and views about it. Our hope is that very soon we can get in someone, an official, to come and speak to us about this, help us understand how to seek help and how this can be rectified. But in the meantime, it's important that we hear Nigerians' experiences on this matter. Call us on the numbers on your screen again, 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTV so we can read your tweets. My plan today is that after I get to that my bank, it's just rectify this thing. The moment I have access to it, I'll just transfer everything to that.
You can write you can fill the form and
checkbook.
Yes, you
just transfer all the money.
You can just transfer because
that smaller bank. In fact, it's not a smaller bank, but it's a better bank that they've not given me any issue. I just transfer everything because I can't use the money. It's just there sitting down for 2 months.
I think it's better.
So we have messages. I just don't know how we're going to read this message because they're calling out
the names.
Okay. So this one says, "Good morning, ladies. It's been over 3 months and counting since our company account at the 6th letter." That's what it starts with. Sent 25,000 to our client who banks with another 6-letter bank. Till date, the recipient is yet to get the money. We logged series of complaints, yet nothing has been done. Please, Alagwe Bashira says, please, when any transaction is being performed and fails, kindly try and copy the session ID or reference number. Take it to the bank. That should help at least. They are 30. I have solved a few of my failed transactions with this.
For those long numbers.
Yes.
Get those numbers.
And then take it to them.
Can I read the florist? The florist said, my money has been missing from since September 8, 2022. I have been going back and forth. I am tired. Who can I report to again? The money is 50,600. 50,600 is
a lot of
salary. Whose salary of many people?
Chemist writer says, and this bank now has a new fraud system. They recharged 1,000 naira airtime for me while I was sleeping. I was charged and I did not receive the airtime on my SIM. Just imagine, I was sleeping around 2 a.m. yesterday. So please explain.
This same bank, because I saw the message. This same bank, I had a transaction there a few weeks back of 10,000. I think it was airtime. I wanted to buy airtime, 10,000 naira.
Don't even try.
So someone told me I shouldn't have even tried it. So the airtime in that bank would just freeze. Yeah. So get the money.
So a lot of it's obvious that many people, if we continue, we'll definitely be reading that the issues cut across tech solutions that they have deployed to make life easy for everyone. But right now they are failed in being able to deliver the service they promised. So in resolving the issue is for us to work together, because I don't think that what we do is lament. We are always, everybody just isolated and complaining one by one. But if we are able to come together and say, okay, all of us that we've were filling a complaint form. You know the way they do those things that they say we need to get 1,000 people to register their complaints against one particular bank or the other particular bank. When they see that coming together, it's a different reaction than when individuals are coming one by one.
Absolutely right. But Nigerian situation is different from those are our counterparts abroad, because this one, they have the basics, they have food, they have clothing, they have everything. We are still hustling every single day. Everybody's running up, and is it that woman that called that her eggs, that when I start leaving out her egg, when I start looking for one lawyer
who's the 75-year-old mama that has to...
Yes, no, in this country, our circumstances are totally different. So it's a great idea when you live in a country where the other basics are available. But here, your kids are there going to school, you're trying to get them breakfast for in the morning, you're trying to run a business, you now start seeing how to follow up with the bank or follow up with the lawyer. You would not just leave it to God. It's always God that helps us here. But God will have mercy on them. That's what we always say.
That bank that's like this.
We get it.
She's like,
which one?
You do it again. Yeah, do it again, Weki. She did a shape.
That one, that time, many years ago, that the money just went. And when the account officer came, I don't know. After a while, I forgot about it. And it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
When it happened the second time, and I knew that Nima's husband worked there, was when I now went, help me.
Yes.
He now helped me. The third time, he helped me again. By the time I say, we are having problem. These banks,
see, you have the connection. So how many people have connection? So the point is that if you do not have the connection, that money will be gone. That means the issue could have been resolved if somebody actually did their job.
And you know what, Mariah, what this also brings to mind is the recent circular that CBN has talked about dormant accounts and monies that have been in accounts for over 10 years. Meanwhile, we cannot even access our money. We don't know what's happening. And then you go and pack this money that we were fighting to get. And Nigerians are saying, look for the owner, so before you start taking some money. These issues did not start today. There's monies that have been kept. You've been trying to reach it. You change the bank is now a new name. You merge, and then, you're trying to... So who do I send to? There are just so many issues. And not many Nigerians are so... Is it information or tech savvy and, knowledge savvy that you don't even know where to go? How do you make it easy for majority of Nigerians who, do not have all this... the knowledge or where to go? Like, how do you help the average Nigerian who is not that well educated, who's not that well exposed, but has had to put their money in the bank because you've made it mandatory? So what do we do for them? Most times when we talk about all these policies, we talk about people like us, that we know where to write to the Complaints Commission, we know who to go, we know a friend that works somewhere that... How about
let me tell you a funny story. Let me tell you a funny story. When I was much younger, I used to work out looking for business. Someone helped me open money with this bank, open account with this bank. I put my money inside the bank. But my house was in Shomolu, the bank was in VI, so I would hardly go there. Until one day, I just said, let me go and even look for my money. Guess what? The bank was not there. I just stood in front of the place. Where is my bank? That money has gone to today. I said, this is how I stood looking. Where is my bank?
I remember you.
Bank is not here again. Imagine.
That was many years ago now. But because we want to help Nigerians, because after lamenting, we have to help Nigerians. So it's important to note that there is the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. They actually do exist to protect you and I, just that many of us don't use them because we rather lament, complain, talk about it on social media, and that's it. But they actually can help, and according to their website, their mandate allows it to intervene in any sector of products involving products and services. FCCPC defers to the sector-specific regulators for resolution, so they can actually get to the NCC to get these things resolved.
Are they ready for banking challenges?
So they said that they can actually help you resolve banking challenges. They said that the complainant must clearly state the following: the party complaining against, the amount involved, the expected address, so the expected redress. You should also attach a proof of the transaction and any other document to support your claim. And you send it, they have their numbers. I mean, I don't know.
You send it via...
The numbers are there. We'll say,
online.
They should come and meet
us. It's on the phone.
Emmanuel says,
so according to our producer, if you call them on the social media handles, they respond immediately. So they are actually active. So if we go on...
Okay, so like your Agbalumo seller now, all she has to do is call them.
Exactly.
And then they answer all these questions.
How many Nigerians are literate enough to do this? This is still working.
Wait, Auntie.
Yeah.
That Nigerian that is not literate, it's not having an e-transaction. It's not
No,
like
no,
it's
but
having
they
an
are
e-transaction.
transferring money to the person.
Those are e-transactions.
They're still transferring
The
to me.
POS
I might not
transaction.
transfer out, but you transfer to me is an e-transaction. So when you say you have sent me the money, I should release the eggs to you. I'm not literate. I sell eggs. You say you send the money. You show me your phone that's gone. Okay, but me, I've not received it. So there are people like that I cannot write. You people go to the banks, Mariah, right now, and they help them to fill the forms. They just sign.
And when I call, I cannot speak English like that you will not understand me.
Let me take a boss. I'll come back to you.
Language thing that can help.
There are
Boss,
lots of
are you there?
people who are leaving behind.
I'm there. Good
Sorry
morning.
for keeping you. Go ahead, you're live.
No problem. I want us to address this issue of POS decline. I've had so many since February. I had one in February. I had like 3 in March. I just had one this morning again. It will decline. Your account will be debited, and the person you are paying did not receive the money. The money is not there in your account, and they will ask you to come to the bank. And when you get to the bank, I was given a particular. I complained about a particular one, I think last day of March. Till now, they gave me something from the website. They said I should log in, and I did. They responded to me. Till now, they've not rejected. I had one in February. I have 2 in March. I just had another one this morning at the filling station. And don't you think it's painful?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't that can be your last, cash.
Yeah.
Like the other day, like March 31st, I just asked, that was the last cash for me. I just wanted to fill my tank, put well in my car. I just left First Bank. It was First Bank. I just left their office. They said, okay, they gave me a website to go, blah, 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 blah. And I was, okay, they said, I tried it the first day, it didn't go. They said I tried in the middle of the night. So I was going home, let me back well in my car. And I first went again, it declined. Till now, Mariah did not reject the money. I just had another one again. Buying fuel at the filling station, again declined. So
And they debited her.
This is fraudulent and it's painful. How can you be holding on to my money? I want to render pay for a service I can't pay, and my money is not in my account. It's fraudulent. I think the POS users to go and complain to the bank. How can I come to your office to use the POS and you will decline? You will tell me you didn't receive the money. I should be the one to go and complain at the bank. It's painful.
Absolutely.
Honestly,
Thank you, Bosse.
I just wanted to say something. When I was growing up, I thought it was a favor for you to use a bank. You are the customer of the bank. You are taking your money, and the bank is investing your money in whatever business they are investing in. So you are the customer. You are doing the bank a favor. Now, they are doing you a favor by collecting your money and using it
and
charging you.
Come on. Eme, come on, talk to us now.
So there was a transaction I did, somebody else's money. So it was a dollar transaction, and it was inflow, right? And they needed me to help them to use something to make some payments. So unfortunately, I did the transaction, and this same bank, bank that's him.
Yeah. Which one?
They want
to describe it.
Describe it now.
That bank.
The bright color bank. Let me say that. So the transaction said declined. The person obviously didn't get it. Then I did it again. The second one went. But I was now debited twice. And this is not Naira transaction. Hey, you see me, Father. I say, Holy Spirit.
What you ran there.
Thankfully, the person was decent enough
to
refund it. But because he also was paying to somebody else. So it was like a three steps. So before I got the money, it took almost a week.
Wow.
And somebody else's money, I was just very worried. So why would I pay back this money? Where will I find this money from?
Yeah, that's also very common, where a transaction will decline, but he will still go
through. Yes, to go through.
So you might do a transaction twice, and then the person will not be debited.
And it takes a while for you to even come to your notice.
Yes, it doesn't get resolved.
That won't happen.
There's another angle of this that we are not discussing. The fact that we put in our forex into our account, paid it into the bank.
You can't
withdraw our money.
Yes.
Safe. That is another huge one. So you go to the bank and you cannot access.
So they don't want that one. I think that one is because they don't want you collecting money from black market and put it into the bank.
Uyemi?
No. They say she can collect money from black market and put it.
They want me to collect from black market and put it in the bank, but they will not pay me back when I want it.
They want you to collect it and not to be able to withdraw it. You can only withdraw inflow. Only money that you get from proper legal transaction. So, for example, if
No,
you're buying something...
that's not true.
no. If you
I got, there's a money that I got in pounds.
Yes.
That was an inflow.
Yes.
That I could not withdraw.
No,
I cannot withdraw it till
that's
now.
Incorrect. Me, if for any inflow, you can withdraw inflow.
No, the reason you can't withdraw it is because they don't have
they don't
They
have.
don't
They
have,
will tell you,
there's
maybe
a
that one
specific
is
amount that they'll tell you can even take.
They don't
beyond
have that's
kind of
foreign
that
currency.
money.
Yeah.
They don't have
Yeah.
pounds. There's no pounds.
Come back next week.
Yeah.
And you go next
If
week.
you are
and
lucky.
you don't have
Any
it.
money you get from anywhere, any source, and you take it to the bank, you're not wise to withdraw. Well, as I said, we'll bring in an expert to tell us from the CBN, tell us why these policies are, because the reason why this show exists is for us to inform ourselves and inform Nigerians on things, naughty areas that we're not clear of, or gray areas that we need clarity on. So we'll bring in somebody
black
to
and white,
explain,
though.
because for my own understanding is that inflows should be, you can withdraw inflows. You can withdraw. I have been able to withdraw inflows.
It's not that
No,
you
there's
can't
a
withdraw it.
specific amount
It's just that
beyond
they don't
which
have
they
it.
won't give you. They
Yes,
will tell
they
you
don't
that
have,
they can't give
they
you
don't
that.
have certain amounts of money. Yes, you're right.
That one, I don't know if it's the same bank people are talking about. That one, when I go there to collect, anyway, I have some small friends inside the bank. I say, please, I beg, I will faint.
telling you.
If you know, it was okay. We'll give you 1,000.
Can you imagine your own money? You
You
can't be
see, there are
begging
levels
pay.
to this thing, YK. You see, I was telling you guys later now that I tried to get, I was in my own bank last week to collect money. They're telling me 20,000 naira. So when I went for house fellowship, one of the people in the house would say, I was telling the person, I've not seen 100,000. He said, Mura, don't worry. He assured me. Monday, he called me yesterday, Mura, I got 100K.
Connection is good.
Connection is at levels. People get level. And I had to come account of it. I said, Auntie, and I
Open
recorded
heavens.
100,000. I said, "See, I got 100,000 from somebody else. What's going on? You're my account officer now. She now said I should come and see her later today. So people can get results. So Nigeria is about connection. Even inside banking, there are certain levels you enter, you can get money.
It's sad, really sad.
It's painful.
It's not, the all fingers are not equal and equal something.
It's the decadence of our society.
Yes, I agree.
So until we start to address this decadence, I was listening to somebody on TV today who said, I think it was Journalist Hangout, that, you see, when common traffic infractions, nobody gets common, the system, it has escalated. It is now inside the banking, the this, the that, the hospital, everywhere. When even common traffic,
Nobody gets
penalized.
You're
So,
let's say Vicky must comments and we wrap up.
Big A, he says, I was debited by bank for DSTV subscription. The vendor told me after 2 days to say she didn't get it. Called my bank and they said the money was reversed and coming back. Only for the vendor to call me on the 5th that the money had just come to her.
Ogumola Emmanuel says, even if there's a class action against these banks, there's a culture of ignoring court judgments without consequences. When the wheel of justice begins to grind faster and rulings are enforced, every slacker will sit up.
Cold J Funky Flex says, Mariah, can't always leave everything to God, though. Tokwe made a valid point of coming together to file a complaint against a certain bank that will help us out.
Vector Boy of Grace says, it's crazy how nothing has been done by our Nigerian government or CBN. One day, monkey will go to market, or go come back.
Babatunde says, okay.
Go ahead.
Says, the issue is frustrating. My issue is different. So my company opened a bank account. I did not mean to read it out for me since January, and my salary goes into the account since that month. I can't access the account. I have updated the account up to now. I can't access the fund. It's so frustrating for the past 3 months. No money to spend, no transport,
Maybe you don't have NIN.
or money to feed.
Maybe it doesn't have NIN.
Yolanda of Lagos.
Let me take this call from Elder. Elder Priyo, good morning. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm still waiting.
You're live. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my complaint is that, you see, this, your discussion this morning is quite interesting. Anyway, good morning. I'm on here with you. Yeah, actually, Burayo, you people are doing a great job there.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm the first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, this thing you people are discussing, I heard you said that they after you and they paid you back your 100,000. To be sincere, maybe they are afraid that you put them on the social on air. That is why they are after you. My own 21,900 has been hanging since over a month ago. I've reported more than thrice to no avail. So you see, I believe these people in the bank, they are using this money to do business. Please, you people should help us to talk to them so that they will know that what they are doing is wrong. It's very wrong. They should not be just be suffering people like that. I'm an elderly person, and they expect me to be coming to the bank every time, every day. It's not wrong. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We have to. We'll definitely will invite the DG for the consumer protection to come here. Tell us what exactly are the steps. I mean, I've read a few, but it's been great to have him also come here because he's a friend of the house. He's been here a few times. Let him explain to us how we can actually help Nigerians who are going through this, or is this just a temporary setback because of the cash crunch?
How long is this temporary?
I mean, because as you said, it has happened to you in the past before the cash crunch happened, but it could have been compounded because of what happened. So in the next few weeks, now that cash is coming out gradually, maybe people will ease off using the e-payments and then begin to use Naira.
Mary says, a guy committed suicide in Futa due to the bank issue. Class contributed money into his account and the guy remained the money. Bank claims they didn't see the transaction. The lecturer called the parents. So the poor guy committed suicide. I mean, you know, it's terrible. Yolanda of Lagos, the issue isn't just about the failed transaction. It can happen anywhere in the world. But the frequency of the failed transactions is beginning to look fraudulent. With more failed transactions happening on Friday than successful one. It's deliberate at this point.
Ogumola Emmanuel says, even if there's a class action against these banks, there's a culture of ignoring court judgments without consequences. When the wheel of justice begins to grind faster and rulings are enforced, every slacker will sit up.
Even when you use POS, because for example, if I buy something 10,000 Naira and I want to use the POS, do you guys ever get this where the vendor tells you to please add 100 Naira for charges?
Oh, yeah.
They tell you, please make it 10,200 or 10,500 just because of charges. I'm now paying for charges also. And I just realized that it's totally...
Balogun Sadiq says, inside the 5K where this bank hang on to, I don't use 2K for calling customer care and the transportation still, my issue is not resolved. Imagine.
Oh my God.
You know, we are talking reality. Let's break it down to the brass tacks. I call customer care. How much will I use to call customer care? Then
it's not toll-free. I don't know why we don't have toll-free customer care.
It's toll-free now.
No. Majority of the customers, I've not seen the toll-free customer care.
No, it's not.
You pay.
Really?
Yes, you pay. And they are singing to you.
That just told me it's not free.
It's not toll-free. So they sing to you on your...
Yes, also your
own money. It should be toll-free. There are little things. Do you understand? Little things that will make you feel like they take you serious.
No, but they need to declare profit.
The master regulator.
How would they declare profit?
The master regulator, before telling us you are going to strangle us, the master regulator should have regulated all these things. We shouldn't... Amen. Where are you?
Hey, where are we? Where we are? What's that debate? Were you where we are? Okay, we have to wrap up on this, but this is not a joke, actually. We have a few more minutes. Can we just accommodate a few more comments before we wrap up? Because we have about 3-4 minutes left. It's important for us to just take as many calls as possible because our objective now is to bring in a regulator and somebody from the Consumer Protection Agency that can then help us understand how we can seek redress when these things happen. I think I have Michael. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning, Mora.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
You see, this failed transaction issue is becoming a serious problem. I did a transaction one time, and I paid. The cost of that transaction was about 10,000. They had to redo it because I needed to. At the end of the day, on getting home, I found out that transaction had been deducted 10 times.
Imagine.
From my account. I kept pursuing. It's still the bank let me not mention this, I won't spoil them business. But it took 1 full year. 1 full year. In fact, I wasn't in the country when I saw that the money was refunded.
Oh yeah.
Why does it take that long? So these are the questions I'm going to ask.
So what happened to the money? Where was the money hanging for 1 full year?
Yes.
When you take my money for 3 months, what is happening to my money in that? Where is my money? Who is in custody of my money? In whose account is my money generating interest? Who is using my money? Because that's if we're unable to get that level of clarity.
But there are numbers, YK. I mean, to talk about. So you put the numbers. Is the banking really? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Should be. Is there numbers, right? So we don't. It's not physical money. It's just numbers. So I don't have a confirmation of money.
But they are getting physical money.
It adds to the valuation of each company. So if I've already moved a few 3,000 to the next account, that person shows that he has it. So if he doesn't have it, and I'm saying it has left my account, where is the money?
The number does, the numbered money does exactly, has the same value what the physical money has.
Babatunde Razak says, the issue is frustrating. My issue is different too. My company opened a dash bank salary. You are taking it. Oh.
I called the name of the bank.
Okay, we have to run.
Yes.
So was it only telecommunications customer service call is free? So the bank's one is not free.
Yeah.
Okay. We have to wrap up on this. As I said, this is just the first part of the conversation. Usually when issues like this happen, we try to have a show where we lament, give Nigerians the floor to express their hurts. The next phase of this conversation is to bring in experts to tell us from the banking sector and from the Consumer Protection Commission to help us understand how we can seek redress so that people get their money back. Why? I'm not going to let you have
No, please, let me just say, please, I'm not on the show the day you bring the person, in case I am.
She make sure you're on the show.
She's not.
Okay, why?
She may just handle somebody.
You're very civil. You're not like that. You're civil.
Right now, I'm not feeling civil.
Okay, that is all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.